Stop scrolling, because this isn't a myth about being strong. It's a myth about being trapped inside strength until it becomes a prison. At the far edge of the ancient world, where the horizon feels endless and the air is always cold, there is a titan who never sleeps, never rests, and never steps away. His name is Atlas, and his punishment is simple but terrifying. He must hold up the sky forever. Not the earth, not a mountain. The heavens, the entire dome of stars and storm clouds, pressed down on his shoulders like a weight that never stops growing. Imagine standing in total darkness, alone, with the wind screaming past you, while the sky itself pushes down harder with every breath. No one cheers for you. No one remembers you. There's no finish line, no one last time, no reward at the end. Just the same position for eternity. Atlas once fought in a war that shook the universe, the Titans against the gods of Olympus. And when the war was lost, Zeus didn't just defeat Atlas, he erased the idea of freedom from his life. Atlas became the living pillar that separates heaven from earth, a symbol of endurance so extreme it stops being inspiring and starts being horrifying. Because what is endurance when you're not enduring toward anything? What is strength when you're not allowed to put it down? And here's the cruel twist. Atlas doesn't suffer in a dramatic way. He suffers in silence, minute after minute, year after year, age after age, while the stars move above him like they're mocking him. He is the loneliest giant in Greek myth, and he will never be finished. But one day, just once, someone approaches Atlas in the darkness, a hero named Heracles. And for a moment, Atlas is offered something he hasn't felt in forever, the taste of possible freedom. A single step away from the sky, a single breath without the weight. And that's when you find out what hurts more than the heavens, is the hope that you might finally be free, only to realize the curse was never going to let you go. Atlas was not born a monster, and he wasn't created to be a symbol. He was a titan, one of the ancient powers that existed before the Olympian gods ruled the world. In the earliest age of myth, the titans shaped the order of reality itself, and Atlas stood among them as a figure of immense strength and endurance. Then came the war that changed everything. The Titans rose against the new gods of Olympus, led by Zeus. The battle was not a single fight. It was a clash of worlds, a struggle over who would rule the cosmos. When the Titans lost, Zeus didn't just punish them to prove victory. He punished them to make sure the old world could never rise again. And Atlas received one of the harshest sentences in all Greek myth. Zeus condemned Atlas to stand at the edge of the world and hold up the sky forever. Not the earth, not a mountain, not a throne, the heavens themselves, the living dome of clouds and stars, the storms, the endless turning of night and day. Atlas became the pillar that keeps the sky from collapsing onto the world. His arms are not raised in triumph. They are raised because if he lowers them, everything falls. This is the first layer of Atlas's horror. His punishment has no end. Most suffering in myth has a climax. A monster is slain, a curse is broken, a hero escapes. But Atlas's story is different. His punishment is not a moment, it is a lifetime stretched into eternity. Imagine the loneliness of holding the sky in complete isolation. The wind never stops, the cold never fully leaves. The stars keep moving as if time is passing for everyone else, while Atlas is stuck in the same position, forever watching the universe continue without him. That's your second scene, darkness and solitude. Atlas is often placed in the far west, beyond the familiar world, where the horizon feels like the end of reality. Some traditions connect him to the mountains that later carry his name, as if the land itself tried to remember him by turning his suffering into stone. But even if the landscape changes, the meaning stays the same. Atlas is a being removed from everything human, everything divine, everything warm. He exists in a place where the only company is the weight above his shoulders. And that weight is not just physical, it's psychological. Because the sky doesn't allow a normal life. Atlas can't walk away, he can't lie down, he can't choose anything. He can't even fail, because failure would destroy the balance of the world. That's what makes his endurance terrifying. It isn't heroic endurance, it's enforced endurance. It's survival without freedom. Then, after ages of silence, Atlas hears footsteps. A hero approaches him, Heracles. Heracles has been sent on a mission that sounds impossible, to obtain the golden apples guarded in a sacred place linked to the Hesperides. And in many tellings, Atlas becomes the key. Heracles understands something important. Atlas is connected to this distant edge of the world and has access to what ordinary mortals cannot reach. So Heracles makes an offer. He says, "Go get the golden apples for me, and I will hold up the sky while you're gone." Imagine what those words do to Atlas, because Atlas has not had relief in an eternity. Not a single moment of rest, not one breath where his shoulders are not crushed. And suddenly a path opens, one small opening that feels like freedom. So Atlas agrees. For the first time in countless ages, Atlas steps away from the sky. This is the most emotional moment in his myth, because it's not about action, it's about sensation. The sky is no longer pressing down, his spine can straighten, his arms can lower, he can breathe without fighting the heavens. That single step away becomes a miracle, and your visual can make it devastating. Atlas and Shadow finally standing tall, the darkness still there, but the weight is gone. Meanwhile, Heracles takes Atlas's place and holds the heavens. The hero strains under the cosmic burden, proving that the sky is not just heavy, it is loot, but Heracles endures because he is a hero built for impossible labor. Atlas returns with the golden apples in his hands. And here comes the cruel twist. The moment that proves Atlas's curse is not only heavy, but psychologically torturous. Atlas does not want to go back. How could he? He has tasted relief. He has felt what it's like to exist without being crushed. And now he realizes something terrifying. The only thing that separates him from freedom is whether he chooses to take the sky again. So Atlas tries to make it permanent. He tells Heracles, in some versions, that he will deliver the apples himself, implying that Heracles should keep holding the sky while Atlas walks away. For Atlas, it's a moment of desperate calculation. Not evil, not heroic, just the instinct of someone who has suffered too long to return willingly. But Heracles is not only strong, he is clever. He agrees, calmly. He says Atlas can take the apples, but asks for one small favor first. Hold the sky for just a moment while I adjust my cloak, so I can carry it more comfortably. Atlas, thinking he has won, reaches up and takes the heavens again. And the instant the weight returns to his shoulders, the truth returns with it. He is trapped. Heracles takes the apples and walks away. Atlas is left exactly where he began, under the sky, alone, cursed, with freedom fading like a dream that lasted only seconds. That is your third scene, the most painful kind of hopelessness, when freedom almost happens and then vanishes. Because Atlas doesn't just suffer from the weight. He suffers from the knowledge that the world can change, heroes can come and go, tasks can be completed, but his punishment never moves. The sky never gets lighter. Time never brings him closer to release. Atlas's endurance is eternal, and that is why his story is so haunting. And if you want an even darker echo, there are traditions where Atlas's fate becomes more final, linked to stories where he is turned to stone, becoming part of the landscape itself. Whether you include that or not, the meaning remains the same. Atlas's myth is not about winning. It is about carrying what cannot be escaped. Atlas holds up the heavens so the world can breathe, and the world keeps breathing, while he never will be free. And that's why Atlas is more than a titan with strength. He is the face of endurance when endurance stops being inspiring and becomes a curse. He doesn't hold the sky for glory. He holds it because he has no choice. Every second is weight. Every breath is borrowed. And the universe keeps moving above him like it's forgotten his name. The cruelest part is that Atlas once touched freedom, just for a moment. He stepped away. He felt the sky leave his shoulders, and then it returned, heavier than ever, because now he knows exactly what he's missing. That's the kind of punishment that doesn't just break the body, it breaks the hope. So when you picture Atlas in the darkness, don't just see a giant, see a warning. Strength can become a prison, and some burdens aren't meant to be carried forever. But Atlas carries them anyway, silent, alone, holding up the heavens for eternity.